Never revealed to the public, Jikook's secret documents have HYBE cornered in the long history of BTS's journey filled with highlights, applause, and glory. There has never been a moment that has thrilled ARMY's heart more than what has happened in recent weeks. Leak of secret documents that directly linked two of the most beloved members, Jimin and Jungkook, in a narrative that has so far lived only in speculation and fandom whispers. But this time it's no ordinary fanbase theory. What is leaked is not a random video edit or post. This is HYBE's internal document, a collection of files that make the giant agency no longer able to avoid, silence the curiosity of the world. One of the files that caught the eye was a folder codenamed Project 13, Moonside. In its metadata are listed two dominant initials, JK and JM. Not only that, the description of the project is written. An exploration of two vocal identities in a parallel narrative that is private and not for public release. In it, stored demos of songs, drafts of lyrics written by hand, personal voice memos, as well as transcripts of conversations between members recorded during rehearsal sessions or midnight discussions at HYBE's secret studio. One of the voice memos that made the ARMY cry reads, "Hyung, if the world is too bright for us, I want us to have a dark side where we can be honest, even if no one hears." Jungkook's voice, quiet and quivering. After the folder became known to the public, various questions arose. Who leaked? Is this internal sabotage? Or is it just the slow pace of someone who wants the world to know the truth that is neatly closed? HYBE in a brief statement mentioned, "We regret the leak of internal files that have not been reviewed for public consumption. Some of the content on it is artistic, personal, and does not represent an official release plan. But pressure from fans, the media, and music industry observers made it increasingly difficult for HYBE to maintain a neutral position. They are now morally cornered between protecting the artist's privacy or manipulating the public's emotions for commercial gain." Among the leaked files, there is one document named Last Letter, 2021. It contained Jimin's handwritten letter, intended for Jungkook, which was never delivered. The text of the letter reads, "I don't know when we will change, but I know every time you shut up, I want to be the reason you talk again. When it's all over and we're back to being two normal people, I hope you remember, I fell in love with the way you took care of me without saying anything." The fans who read the quote on international forums burst into tears. The audio track of the Moonside project plays two voices in a wrenching minor harmony. The song begins with Jungkook's low vocals. "On the invisible side of the moon, I keep a voice I can't speak," then followed by Jimin's voice that answered, "And I heard it even before you sang." The song's structure is not like a typical pop song. It's like a musical conversation, like they're talking to each other through notes and lyrics, not for sale, but to heal each other. Not a few fans voiced admiration and emotion instead of controversy. The discussion forums are full of comments like, "If this is a secret, then it is the most beautiful secret we have ever known." Jikook doesn't need to explain. Their voices have spoken truer than anything. Even some well-known music journalists said that the Moonside project could become BTS's most emotional experimental work if one day it is released. On a cold morning at the Gangwon military headquarters, the Apple atmosphere felt different. There were no loud signals as usual, and the lineup felt calmer. A loudspeaker that is usually used for routine announcements actually emits soft tones, a song that was unfamiliar to most of the soldiers, but instantly recognizable by the two men glancing at each other from their respective positions. The song is Moonside. As it turned out, the day before, Jimin carefully turned to the technical staff of the camp for help, the man who had been arranging audio for military activities to play an MP3 file he named Morning Reflection. Jimin did not say much, just handed a small flash and ordered, "If you play this, make sure Jungkook listens first." As the song began to flow, Jungkook's face instantly changed. He recognized the opening chords, the sound of his own guitar, even the breath he recorded in the studio 3 years ago. And when Jimin's part came in, he lowered his head. Both hands clenched tightly. It was not because of shame, but because of holding back the emotions that invaded without warning. The other soldiers were silent. not fully understood, but dissolved in the atmosphere that suddenly became melancholy and sacred. 2 weeks before this moment, Jungkook secretly wrote a reply letter to Jimin's last letter, a letter found in the leaked document. But he didn't have the usual paper or pen in the barracks. So he wrote on the back of his military undershirt with a small marker that he bought during his weekly gear shopping. What's in the letter? No rambling. Just 3 sentences. I don't know when I can say this, but your letter is the only thing I keep in my head every night. If our world is dark, I want to be your little flashlight. Jimin didn't know about this letter. Jungkook keeps it, waiting for the right time, a time when words are no longer a burden, but an irrevocable form of recognition. After the song's playback, incident spread to the public through a short video uploaded by one of the non-Korean soldiers. The army again shook the cyberspace. Army zooms in on the video, analyzing Jungkook and Jimin's facial expressions from a distance, until finally realizing one small gesture. Jungkook rubbed his eyes just as Jimin's voice said, "I heard it, even before you sang." For fans who followed their journey from the beginning, it was no ordinary cry. It was a form of honesty that so far could only be imagined through small snippets of moments on stage and live broadcasts. Interestingly, until now, HYBE has not given an official statement about the moment in the military camp. Even when the media tried to contact the internal parties, their answer was simply, "We are not authorized to comment on the personal activities of members during conscription." However, the public has come to its own conclusion. HYBE no longer has full power over this story. Because the ones holding the script now are Jimin and Jungkook himself, and they write it honestly, without artificial narration. The latest news is that HYBE Music Distribution has started recording Moonside's song Metadata as a pending official demo. This suggests that most likely, after Jimin and Jungkook finish their military service, the song will be officially released. Some producers even mentioned that the original leaked files have not undergone the mastering process. And it is likely that the final version will feature a combination of new arrangements with live recordings of the vocals of both, complete with the original sound of the barracks as a background atmosphere. What happened between Jimin and Jungkook is no longer just a fan service, not a bromance, let alone just a moment on stage. It's a story of 2 people who grew up together, loved silently, and eventually spoke through song. The army doesn't need an official statement. They don't need a long confession, because they know that love is felt, not confirmed, and in every Moonside lyric, every letter, and every look caught on camera, we're all silent witnesses of something deeper than just a groupmate relationship. This is a love story. And now, that story can no longer be silenced. The secret document was not only about musical projects. It's not just internal files. It is the emotional imprint of 2 hearts that grew together in pressure, silent love, and wordless protection. Maybe HYBE can hide those files again. Maybe they could remove or replace the narrative. But what they cannot erase is a feeling that has reached the hearts of millions of people, because behind that secret document, the world discovered a truth that was never officially announced. That Jimin and Jungkook have seen each other more deeply than we ever imagined, and now the world is starting to see them the same way.